Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you to the Hall of Fame Hall of Champions ceremony. At this time, we would like everyone to rise for the playing of our national anthem and the presentation of the colors.
Stripes through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present Jim Williams. He's going to be doing the invocation.
Good evening, everyone. Before we pray tonight, we'd like to note the passing of two very, very special individuals. This past year, we lost Curtis, better known as Curdy Cool. Curdy was the founder and charter president of this association. We also lost Bill Markley, and he served for president, I forget how many years now, but I just wanted to mention their passing, and I'd ask you to indulge me in just a moment of silence in remembrance of them. Thank you. Let's pray. Gracious God, our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the many, many blessings that you shower upon us on a daily basis, unending. We pray, Heavenly Father, that we will be reminded to be ever grateful for all that you do for each and every one of us. We thank you, Heavenly Father, for all of our inductees and honorees this evening. Thank you for the examples that they are, the light to our community that they have become, and we thank you for all that they've done since graduating from high school. We pray your blessings upon our activities this evening, and we ask and pray all of these things in your holy and precious name. Amen.
Excuse me, I was a wrestler, not a basketball player. I'd like to welcome you all to our 37th Annual Hall of Fame Hall of Champions ceremony. Tonight, we'll be inducting 9 people into the Hall of Fame and Hall of Champions. We'll be inducting 4 into the Hall of Fame, which is for their time of service, life service after graduation. We'll be inducting 5 members to the Hall of Champions who are being honored for their activities, athletic skills when they were in high school. I would also like to thank the Board of Directors of the Norristown Area School District, Dr. Samuels, Superintendent Jeff Smith, Principal of Norristown High School, for allowing us to have this ceremony. Each inductee will have their place and bio placed in the walls of the building so that our students can see the people that have come through the halls of Norristown over the years. It's tremendous history, and hopefully the young men and women can learn from that. Also, I'd like to thank the committee. You cannot believe how much work goes into this by the personnel that represent the school here. It's tremendous. And finally, we really would like people to get involved with us. We meet once a month. Feel free to get involved in the program. There's a tremendous history in this school that people need to see. Now I would like to introduce Dr. Samuels, Superintendent of Norristown School District.
Good evening. It is indeed a pleasure to welcome you and to salute our inductees into the Hall of Champions and Hall of Fame. Have you ever heard about the butterfly effect? In physics, it describes how tiny changes in initial conditions, such as the flap of a butterfly's wings, can affect weather 1,000 miles away. Imagine a fragile butterfly can alter weather patterns on another continent. Had it not flapped its wings, the trajectory of the weather system might have vastly been different. As individuals, there are many times when we may not understand the magnitude of just how important we are in the lives of others. To our inductees and to everyone who is assembled here this evening, I want to reinforce the importance of just how amazing you are in the lives of our students in the Norristown Area School District. Your flapping wings or your influence, actions, and deeds have the potential to change life chances for others. Your flapping wings or presence can initiate changes that will influence lives for an eternity. It is a pleasure to salute each and every one of you and to thank you for influencing the lives of others. Just like branches on a tree, our lives may grow in different directions, yet roots remain the same, and they remain as one. Although your life may take you, our inductees, to many places in this world, we thank you for spreading your wings and for remaining rooted in the Norristown Area School District. Thank you so very much, and congratulations and best wishes to each of you.
Thomas A. Patterson, class of 1973. This football and track star was a 3-year starter, playing offensive tackle and defensive end on the Eagles football team. He also performed punting duties for the team. In 1972, he was named All-Suburban One-Leg Offensive Tackle, and in 1973 was chosen to play in the Montgomery County All-Star Game. He earned 3 varsity letters and was named the 1973 Philadelphia Bulletin High School Scholar Athlete. He was also named the Exchange Club's George Wireman Award winner. His track achievements included performing in the weight events, shot put, discus, and javelin. He earned 6 varsity letters in winter and spring track. In 1973, he placed 4th in the state's PIAA shot put with a heave of 55 feet 6 inches. He also was named All-Suburban One-Leg and All-District 1 in the shot put in 1973. His track team was undefeated in team dual meets for 3 years, and in his senior year, 1973, his team was the Pennsylvania State Team Champions and the Eastern National Boys Track and Field Champions. High school activities included National Honor Society, Key Club, and performing as first chair trumpet in the band. He earned a BA in Business Administration from Gettysburg College in 1977. While at Gettysburg, he was a 4-year varsity member of the track and field team, which won the Middle Atlantic States Collegiate Athletic Conference Championship in 1976 and 1977. Self-employed as a computer consultant, he resides with his wife Felicia in Southampton, New Jersey, along with their children, Nora, Meredith, and Bradley. Tonight, we honor Thomas Patterson's accomplishments in football and track as we welcome him to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Champions.
I'd also like to thank Matthew Bradford, our representative at state level, for presenting citations from the House in Pennsylvania for each of our inductees.
Wow, thank you very much. This is quite an honor, and the memories just seem to flow watching those old pictures. And I want to thank the committee for obviously doing this special moment for me. And I want to say that going through the attic this past summer, trying to dig out through the boxes to get some of those pictures was quite an experience. Felt a little like Clark Griswold up in the attic during Christmas time. I would like to extend my thanks to the Hall of Champions Committee. It's obviously a tremendous honor to be included here tonight with so many special scholars and athletes. I want to give a big thank you to my track coach, Bob Schell, for nominating me, and to my other coaches that I've had over the years here, Coach John Servino and Roger Grove. I'd like to recognize my wife Felicia, my daughters Meredith and Nora, and my son Bradley, and also a very special thank you to my tremendous extended family, who I'm sure had many other things they could have done tonight, but they chose to come here to help me celebrate my special night. I think one of the good things that comes out of this is my children may finally believe all the stories that their father tells them. It is true, some of it anyway. I'd also like to thank my many teammates that I've had over the years. Our memories and bonds will live forever, and they allowed me to be part of a special group who collectively were able to achieve tremendous things. Some of the names: Ron and Don Livers, Greg Bates, Don Milligan, Bernard Christie, Tom Jones, Donald Smith, and my fellow weight man, Richard Slater. I remember that first day when I was sitting in Mr. Eldridge's biology class. It was after our first football season, and there was a knock at the door, and Mr. Eldridge went over and opened the door, and there was this very large, imposing man who I didn't really know at the time, and it was Mr. Shout, and he asked if I could come out of the classroom and talk to him. And I'm thinking, what did I do? But he was recruiting. And he asked me if I wanted to join the winter track program. And I said, well, I used to play basketball in junior high school, but I didn't think I was going to be able to do that in high school. So he said, well, why don't you come out for winter track and just kind of stay in shape? You'll be able to run a little bit and lift from weights and things like that. And I said, well, that's okay, but I'm going to play baseball in the spring. He said, oh, don't worry about it. Come on out. So I went out to winter track in the old Roosevelt Field. We used to practice there in the very cold winter time. When we had meets, we'd have to take our sweats off, and it was 10, 12 degrees out, but it didn't matter. But he started me out running hurdles, and I never was quite sure what that was about. But after about 2 or 3 broken hurdles, I think he finally realized that he really had a weight man on his hands, and it wasn't a hurdler. But Coach Shout's motivational skills and his expectations for excellence were the driving force behind what became a group of special athletes who, during our 3-year run, never lost a dual meet, went on to become Pennsylvania state champions, and I guess I never realized at the time how important it was. We also were Eastern national champions. And I think I found out that there never was a national champion. I think we would have won that if we had the opportunity. Coach Shout had an uncanny ability to pre-calculate the exact number of points needed to win a meet, and told each of us exactly how many points we were expected to contribute to make that total. That was his pregame speech, and I still remember the blackboard, and he'd have all the totals down there, and if you didn't live up to what his expectations were, things weren't going to happen the way they should have. But most of the time they did. My football experiences were just as memorable. I remember the hot summer practices down in what we used to call the Dust Bowl in Elmwood Park. And you'll never forget the electric atmosphere that we used to experience on Friday nights under the lights at Roosevelt Stadium. And also, this time of year, I'll never forget the special Thanksgiving games we had at 11 in the morning against Upper Merion at Roosevelt Stadium. It seemed as though the whole town of Norristown came out to start their Thanksgiving holiday that day. I've learned in my life, whether you were a champion or just had the experience of being around teammates every day, that sports instills traits that build confidence, perseverance, and gives the ability to have a perspective on life that allows you to handle difficult situations that might occur at any time. Track was the first time I was ever exposed to the concept of a PB. That means personal best. Track is a sport where there are distinct measurements of time and distance. You always have the opportunity on your next throw or sprint to better your previous personal best. This is a concept that doesn't need to end after that last track meet. I believe it's something that we can strive for every day. Thank you very much again, and I really appreciate this honor. Thank you.
Derek D. Perry, class of 1993. An exceptional basketball player for the Eagles. An exceptional basketball player for the Eagles during the 1992 and 1993 seasons, he scored 1,234 points during just those 2 years. Basketball honors included All Suburban One League First Team in 1992 and 1993, when he was the leading scorer both years. All Southeastern Pennsylvania Fifth Team in 1992 and Third Team in 1993. All Area First Team in 1992 and 1993. All Times Herald First Team in 1992 and 1993. All Montgomery County First Team in 1992 and 1993. And he was invited to play in the All-Star Labor Classic at St. Joseph's University in 1993. After earning an Associate of Liberal Arts degree from New Mexico Junior College in 1996, he went on to receive a bachelor's degree in communications with a minor in public relations from Rider University in 1998. He was an all-conference basketball player at New Mexico Junior College from 1994 to 1995 and led the Western Junior College Athletic Conference in rebounds with 9.8 per game in 1995. He went on to play professional basketball in Ireland and Spain and played semi-pro basketball with the Harrisburg Horizons. He also played in the NIT basketball tournament his senior year at Rider University. He has served as a councilman for the Norristown municipality and is a member of the nonprofit One Love Club. He belongs to the Tabernacle International Deliverance Church and, along with his daughter Jocelyn and son Derek Jr., resides in Norristown. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome Derek Perry to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Champions.
I just want to know who the announcer is. I thought I was getting drafted in 1998. Sounded great. I'm privileged to enjoy this humbling experience right now with my family and friends, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I would like to thank the Norristown Area School District, Board of Supervisors, the Superintendent, Dr. Samuels, Principal Jeff Smith, and the Hall of Champions committee members for recognizing my accomplishment. As I accept this recognition, part of me feels guilty because I know so many others before me who were bleeding for the blue and white, but have not been acknowledged as of yet. A list of them is Harry Allen, Alfonso Giddens, Kurt Mayo, Binky Johnson, Jeff Thompson. We can go on and on about this list, but I think it should be bigger. They all exemplified perseverance, resiliency, and they beat the statistics and the odds in our success story also. I want to recognize some people that probably didn't know that just their kind words were encouraging to me. It really meant a lot, and I'll never forget you. Mr. Nilman, one of the largest men I ever seen. He was 6'7", he was bigger than a house. I always appreciate your kindness. Miss Cresswell Wargo, and I know she's here. Thank you for always inviting me to the school and making me believe I can inspire kids. Mr. Mitch, who's probably down in North Carolina, thanks for always giving us stories about your basketball career. Definitely appreciated those stories. Mr. Scott, a calligraphy teacher who used to work here, who was always pushing people to do better when we didn't know we could be the way we are today. I can actually say that Norristown probably misses him right about now. Ma Faye and Ma Mary. What can I say about these women? They were our village for us. They kept us straight and on the path to respect and honor ourselves in a good way. They were always our team's mom. I love you both. My Uncle Brad, who I say is still the best player in our family. I know this is a bad word here, but he was a Wissahickon legend. Thanks for always keeping me humble, because he used to tear me up as we played one-on-one in basketball. But when I came back from college, I got my revenge. My sister, Danya, also a Wissahickon alum. She retired before I can beat her one-on-one, but she beat me like I stole something. I appreciate her. Larry Mayup. If anyone knew who this guy is, he was one of our rivalries at Upper Marion School. He was our rivalry and our comrade at the same time. He was the person who got me, Harry Allen, and myself into school. He introduced us to New Mexico Junior College. It's funny because I laugh at this. When the lights go out in the high school world, we all became friends and teammates after that. Coach Ron Black, New Mexico Junior College coach, who met us one time. Never forget it. He was in our house and he was talking to me and Harry Allen, and he was going through some things. He was going through some problems with his wife being sick, but he offered us a partial scholarship to school. Well, he quickly loved how we played, and we ended up receiving full scholarships from him at the end of the day. Much respect to a person who was going off of the word of one of the guys who we used to play against. To my teammates, Ian Morris, Tim Nugent, John Cresswell Jr., Chris McGuigan, Mark Palumbo, Darnell Carroll, Tracy Wade, Jason Smith, Tony Bond, Scott and Brian Nealman, Mike Starlin, Jermaine Boggs, Rock Green, Willie Anderson, Alfonso Giddens, and Harry Allen. Thank you, forever my brothers. We were a tight-knit group, and we were young, and still, and to this day, still the same way. A majority of them are here. I counted on you then, and can always count on you now. I also want to apologize to Norristown and our community for not bringing a state championship home. In our eyes, we're always state champions. Mr. Cresswell, this man endured a lot over the years. Nothing he deserved, because he never had to put the ball in the basket. Thanks for believing in Norristown basketball players. You tried everything in your power to make every basketball player believe we were greater than what we were, and that we could go further putting a basketball in the hoop. Some of us believed, and some of us had to worry about taking care of family. I appreciate you. So now I had to say something selfish, because I was an unselfish player, because he knows I was like that. So I needed 85 points to score my 1,000 points. We had 2 away games. He says, you will score your 1,000 points at home. I didn't expect to score 39 points in the next game and then 40 in 3 quarters in the next one after that. I've been mad at you for 23 years. No one on the bench wanted to go in and get me out. You couldn't let me have just one record. I could have broke the all-time scoring record in a game. I'm hoping he smiles when he hears that, and I'll hug him at the end of the day, because I still love him. To my mother, the rock, the glue. Which mom in any family is not the glue of the family? She took care of 4 kids, worked second shift for 30-something years, and had to take care of a husband who was disabled. Mom, you don't know this, but you were a big inspiration to me to get through all of this. My mom is the hall of my heart. She struggled, she cried, she was frustrated with life. You know, everyone had bad kids. Yeah, she had some. But she never showed us that she would give up. I love you for that, and I'm glad you were blessed again to be happy again. To my other inspirations and the people I looked up to, who taught me about family, love, and what it meant to be an inspiration to others. My grandfathers, Colburn Marsh and Nathaniel Perry, my grandmothers, Winifred Marsh and Mildred Perry, and man, do I miss this guy. If anybody knows who my dad was, he was my everything. My dad, my father, my friend, my rock, Robert Perry. May they all rest in peace, and I know they're smiling down on me right now. 23 years ago, I walked out of Norristown High, an angry man. Grabbed my diploma from my counselor, Mr. McMurray, and walked out to school. I felt used and defeated, saying, how could they do this to us? Today, I say it was God's way, and that was the path, that's where I'm at today. I don't regret it and never will forget it. I walked back through these doors as Norristown High, educated man. Many great athletes in Norristown never got to experience anything except high school for one reason or the other. I beat the odds of being a statistic that so many of us had endured over the years. To all the Norristown alumni, let us be mentors to our youth and stop trying to live through them. I challenge you to give them the right advice and stress education first. Be humble. Always work and never give up, even in your hardest moments in life. Tonight, I use this platform to inspire my family and my friends, but most of all, my son, my daughter, my nephews, my nieces, my cousins, and our future generation. Go to school. Listen to the teachers. They work hard. Follow their dreams. Elicit positive change and give back to our community. We all deserve that. Thank you.
Jeffrey S. Fiss, class of 1996. A four-year football player from 1992 to 1995. This athlete played offensive guard and defensive tackle as a freshman and continued as a three-year letter winner playing varsity at those same positions. Honors during his high school football career included First Team All-Suburban 1 Conference at offensive guard, 1994-1995. First Team All-Suburban 1 Defensive Tackle, 1994 and 1995. Montgomery County All-Star Team Captain and Defensive Tackle, 1995. NAHS Football Team Captain, 1995. First Team Times Herald at offensive and defensive linemen, 1994 and 1995. And Blue Chip Magazine Top High School Recruiting Selection in 1995. In 1996, this honoree was also the USAPL State Powerlifting Record Holder, Teenage Division, for bench press and total. He played baseball as a freshman and accepted a football scholarship to Temple. He was a general studies student at Temple University in 1996 and went on to achieve a BS degree in exercise and sport science from the University of Delaware in 2001. Post-high school football honors for football included playing center, and he was recognized as First Team Associated Press All-American in 2000, First Team Sports Network All-American 2000, First Team Walter Camp All-American 2000, First Team Don Jansen All-American 2000, and First Team All-Atlantic 10 1999 and 2000. Also, a U.S. APL powerlifter, nationally ranked SHW, and US APL Powerlifting 2009-2010 Arnold Classic participant. He placed first in the SHW division in 2010. Employed as a registered personal banker at Wells Fargo Bank in Telford, he also holds Pennsylvania State Accident, Life, and Health Insurance licenses. He is an avid fan of the Phillies, Eagles, NHRA, and NASCAR, and was a fitness director and manager of fitness clubs in the Philadelphia area, including Town Sports International and operations manager at LA Fitness. He, his wife Rebecca, and their children, Emily, Natalie, and Kaylee, reside in Lansdale. Please help us celebrate his football accomplishments and welcome Jeffrey Fiss to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Champions.
Good evening, everyone. And thank you so much for coming to this very nice event. It's a very humbling thing to be recognized in this Hall of Champions. And when I heard about the news that I was going to be inducted, I was really taken aback by it. And it's definitely a great accomplishment for me and my family to be here tonight. Earlier today, I was in the school speaking to some of the youth here and along with Mr. Perry, and we had a very nice day. And I really tried to express the importance to the kids on knowing exactly what you want to do with your life, both here and out of school, and having a plan in place to do that. I think a lot of kids nowadays don't really have any sort of plan for that. So I think it's really important that children today, they take a look at themselves and figure out what they want to do and have someone there to help mentor them to put a plan in place for that. And that's what I had. I had a lot of good resources behind me that would drive me in the right direction. When I came to Norristown in 1993, I wanted to be a baseball player. I played Little League and Legion Ball, the whole nine. I was a catcher in baseball. And I never really had a thought in my mind about playing football. Until one guy came up to me after school one day. It was like the first or second day here as a freshman. And he said, "Fiss, why don't you come out for the football team?" And I said, "You're crazy. I'm a baseball player. I don't mess with that stuff." "No, come on. We really need you." And I said, "Okay." Well, the guy who put me up to that was a guy named Omar Jenkins. He was a defensive back for us my senior year, junior year. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years later. But that was a crucial moment in my life that you didn't recognize it at the time. And, had it not been for Omar putting me up to that, I don't think I'd be here today. And I certainly wouldn't have went to college. Fast forward a little bit into my football career, Roger Grove, I think this was my junior year after my first stint on the varsity team as a sophomore. Roger, along with Brian Kennedy, They basically approached me and said, "How do we get you intense?" And I didn't know what that meant at the time. I never thought of that. I mean, how does a kid respond to something like that? So I went home that night and I got a dictionary. Believe it or not, we had dictionaries back then. We didn't have the internet. And I looked it up on the internet, or the dictionary rather, and I got the definition. The definition of intensity: great energy, strength, concentration, vehemence as an activity, thought, or feeling. And that really hit home to me because I believe you need to be intense in all areas of life, whether it be athletics, family life, work life. You have to go at it with such a great passion. The people who are successful are the ones that have that passion. And I try to relay that into some of the kids that we met today, and I continue to do that on a regular basis when I can. But the moral of this story is these small moments in time, these little occurrences, we as a society don't really understand the importance of them until after the fact. But some of these small moments can make such a huge impact in your life. And I'm speaking more to the young folks that are here with us tonight. Don't get lost in the moment of, like all the technology that's out there, things like that. Like, be in the moment, because you never know when one of these crucial periods of time will come into your life where you don't, it could be a game changer for you. So it's very important to take everything seriously here, because these actions and these things will shape your entire life and your entire career, whatever it is you want to do. So that's basically the message I have for today's youth, and I think it's really important that we continue to press that. I have a bunch of people that I'd like to thank. I'd like to take a second to acknowledge my wife, Rebecca, my beautiful wife, Rebecca. Honey, we got together in '99 right as I was coming out of here, and we've been through some good times and bad times, but you stuck with me. We got married. We raised a family. You look as great as ever, and I love you. To my mom and dad, unfortunately, my mom couldn't be here tonight. And Dad is no longer with us, unfortunately. He passed away in 2011, but I know my mom's going to hear this speech when she gets home, but all my hard work and my work ethic I have is because of her and my father, and I wouldn't be where I am today without them. So from the bottom of my heart, Mom, when you see this, I love you and thank you so much. And Dad, I know you're listening to this. I love you too. And to my 3 little girls that are here tonight, you may have heard them earlier. You guys weren't even alive when Daddy was doing all these awesome things in school. And, I just want to let you know that I love being your father more than anything in the world. And I think that's my greatest accomplishment of all. I want to thank my wonderful mother and father-in-laws for being here tonight. I want to thank you, first and foremost, for allowing me to marry your beautiful daughter. That's the best gift you've ever given me, and I don't know what else to say. I can't thank you enough. You've raised a wonderful woman, and she's a wonderful mother and wife, and God bless you both. My brother Tim, who is here with us tonight, he's been a huge supporter of Norristown football and Delaware football over the years. I want to thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate you being here, and thank you for coming to the games and being there for me, and also being there for Mom. I'd like to thank Roger Grove. He was the head coach of the Norristown Football Eagles when I was here. He had a huge influence on my life. He basically stirred me in the right direction when it came to football, and he gave me a shot as a sophomore, something that really wasn't heard of when Norristown football was going on at that time. A sophomore starting at offensive line is not something that you see back then. But I want to thank him. I want to thank Brian Kennedy. He was my offensive line coach here, and he was Mr. Intensity. I got a lot of my stuff from him, and he knows exactly how to push your buttons. And not only was he a coach of mine, he was also a supervisor of mine during the summer when I would work at Mermaid Swim Club. I owe him a lot. Thank you very much, Coach. Coach Rowan Watson, my defensive line coach, he was as intense as well, and he taught us how to really play the game defensively very well, and he's a great father and a great family man. I want to acknowledge him as well. I want to thank Coach Jason Powell, who invited me in today to speak with his business class about some of the things that we went through as athletes and students. I think the program is heading in the right direction. He's a hard worker, and I wish him all the best, and I will be watching. And last but not least, I'd like to thank the wonderful Norristown Area School District and the Hall of Champions and Hall of Fame Committee for this prestigious award. I'm very humbled and honored to be up in here in front of you, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. This has really meant the world to me, and I do appreciate it. So thank you very much for your time, and congratulations to all the inductees for the Hall of Champions and the Hall of Fame. Thank you very much.
James R. Wolf, class of 2001. A starting wrestler all 4 years of high school, he wrestled at 103, 112, 119, and 125 pounds. His high school career record was 110 wins, 42 losses, with 36 falls. Wrestling honors included Suburban 1 First Team in 1998, 1999, and 2000. Second Team in 2001. He was All-State Academic in 1999, 2000, and 2001. In 1998, he was named All-State, and in 2001, he was named Academic All-American, NHSCA. In PIAA tournaments, he placed first in Section 3 in 1999 and 2001, and third in 2000. In District 1, he placed first in 1999 and fourth in 2000 and 2001. In regionals, he placed second in 1999, and at states, he placed eighth in 1999. Tournament finishes included Phillipsburg, first in 1998, second in 1999 and 2000, and third in 1997. Haverford, second in 1997. Best of the East, sixth in 1998. Powerade, sixth in 1998. Solanco, first in 1998, third in 1999, and fifth in 2000. Honors include 2001 Second Team All-Area Times Herald, Honorable Mention All-Area Montgomery Publishing Papers, First Team All-District Academic. In 2000, Third Team All-Area Philadelphia Inquirer, and First Team All-District Academic. Activities while in high school included National Honor Society, DECA, N Club, cross country, and soccer. He earned a BS in computer engineering, minoring in computer science and mathematics from Virginia Tech in 2006. While at Virginia Tech, he wrestled at 133 pounds in 2001 and 2002. He then went on to earn an MS degree in software engineering from George Mason University in 2010. Employed as a software engineer, lead design agent by the United States Navy, Naval Surface Warfare Center in Dahlgren, Virginia, he received the Department of the Navy Award of Merit for Group Achievement in 2010 and was Employee of the Month, Strategic and Weapon Control Systems Department in October 2008. A volunteer wrestling coach at King George High School, King George, Virginia. This athlete resides with his wife, Kelly, and daughters, Mackenzie and Isla, in Fredericksburg, Virginia. We congratulate James Wolf on his wrestling accomplishments and welcome him to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Champions.
You guys like that first picture, huh, when I was 5 years old? Well, first and foremost, I just want to congratulate all of the other individuals that are being recognized tonight. It's an honor to share the stage with you guys tonight and listen to your accomplishments as well. I want to say thank you to the committee for the honor of this induction tonight, and for all the hard work and preparation that I know that went into tonight's ceremony. And thank you to Norristown High School for hosting this event tonight and for giving me the opportunity to be part of such a great tradition that we have here at Norristown. And also thank you to my family for all of your support, my wife Kelly, my daughters Mackenzie and Isla, and my parents Pat and Jim Wolf, who are all here tonight to support me. It really is an honor to be here tonight, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you guys about the sport of wrestling and the impact that it's had on me as an athlete and in the years since I competed. And I started wrestling at the age of 5, so pretty early. But I competed in a number of sports growing up, but it was always wrestling that I was most connected to. I always admired how unique it was and how different than the other sports that I competed in. I always loved the one-on-one competition, and the sport really gave me the opportunity to get to know myself as an individual and understand, just what my capabilities were. Excuse me. I certainly wouldn't be here tonight if it wasn't for the outstanding set of coaches and teammates that I've had along the way. Not everybody that gets involved in this sport, and for any sport for all that matter, gets the privilege of being around so many individuals that are able to make such a positive impact on their lives. And for me, that was really key. And it started on day one with my father, James Wolf, who was much more than just a supporting dad. He was always my coach and mentor. And my years here at the youth program, the Golden Eagles, under Coach Mark Harner, and of course my time at Norristown under head coach Steve Harner, and all the assistants that we've had along the way. A lot of them are here tonight, and I just want to thank you. I've learned so much from you guys over the years, and your dedication and support was a huge contribution to the success that I've had, and others as well. When I fast forward to today and just take a look at my life right now and reflect on how I got to where I am, it's been years since I've stepped on a wrestling mat in competition, but I can't help but be reminded how much it still is a part of my life. And it really goes back to, my roots here at Norristown. I'm back in the practice room when, I was working, hard every single day to achieve the goals that I set for myself. And all those goals were wrestling related, at the time. But what I didn't realize was I was actually training for the rest of my life. For those of us who really buy into the sport, wrestling becomes a lifestyle. And, all of the traits and characteristics that you develop, they become part of your personality. And they can be used as tools in just about anything in life, and they can help you be successful in just about anything in life. And I like to think that I really acquired a core set of principles and values from the sport. And I try my hardest to apply them in my life, every single day, whether it's, at the workplace or at home with my family. It's taught me about hard work and determination, how to set goals for myself, and how to lay out a path to reach those goals and constantly evaluate myself. It's also taught me a little bit about failure, which I think is probably the most important lesson. How to learn from your mistakes, go back, make the necessary adjustments, and keep moving forward. This opportunity tonight has really given me a chance to, reflect on all this, and and as I stand up here tonight, it gives me a chance to say thank you. Thank you to the sport for all that it's done for me. Thank you to my family for all of your support over the years, and thank you to all of you guys for supporting me tonight. Thank you very much.
Christina M. Moore, class of 2005. As a 4-year starter on the Lady Eagles 9, this softball player earned 4 varsity letters while leading her teams to 4 district tournament appearances. In 2004, she was named to the first team Suburban 1 League as a third baseman, batted .417 with 5 extra base hits. Pitching for the Lady Eagles that year, she also won 5 games with 32 strikeouts, and the Times-Herald named her Athlete of the Week. During 2005, she was selected All Suburban 1 First Team and All Area First Team playing third base, honors that she achieved multiple times during her 4-year career. Her senior year softball statistics included a batting average of .333, 6 extra base hits, 12 runs batted in, and an on-base percentage of .448. She received the N Club MVP as a senior and was again named Athlete of the Week by the Times-Herald. While at Norristown Area High School, she was a member of DECA from 2003 to 2005 and participated in DECA Regionals in 2005. She also served as an athletic trainer. She earned a BA degree in Media and Communications at Ursinus College in 2009. While at Ursinus, she was a member of the Ursinus College Inter-Greek Council and played second and third base from 2005 to 2009 on the Ursinus softball team. She also played third base and pitcher from 2002 to 2004 for the East Norristown Heartbreakers Fast Nationals and was named All-Area and All-League as a pitcher. In addition, in 2009, she published a work entitled Project Comparison of Rule-Based to Human Analysis of Chat Logs. Employed as a marketing manager and senior vice president in public relations by 15 Minutes Inc. in Conshohocken, she is a Dining Out for Life volunteer and a member of the Visitation BVM Parish in Trooper. She resides in Malvern. Tonight, we honor Christina Moore for her athletic achievements in softball and welcome her to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Champions.
Thank you to everyone who put this wonderful event together, and to the NAHS Hall of Champions Association for nominating me and for keeping this special tradition alive. Joe, thanks for staying on top of us every step of the way. I'm honored to be in the presence of these outstanding scholars, star athletes, intellectuals who've had such a meaningful impact on our community. And to all of you, coaches, mentors, family, friends, it's because of your hard work and dedication that we're all here tonight. When you think about it, life is the ultimate team sport. Great teams have guidance and direction. They have a coach or coaches to keep them on track and challenge them to become better. Not only did I have dedicated teachers and administrators here at NAHS, but I was also blessed with 2 talented softball coaches over the years. Coaching a team of high school girls is not an easy job, but I think Coach McCarthy handled it pretty well, but we'll have to ask his wife how he really felt. For 4 years, Coach worked to push me to the limit and reinforce that I could do anything I set my mind to. He taught me that understanding the psychology behind sports, mental toughness, and dedication will help in any life situation. And after countless indoor practices in the Whitehall Library, watching sports psychology films, I know that most sports or challenges are 90% mental and 10% physical, as is life. My years with Coach McCarthy taught me that working together is necessary to be successful at anything you do, and that no one succeeds at anything alone. It's a team. Now, I wouldn't have excelled in softball or life if it weren't for my career softball coach and mentor, Harry DeBusolo. He believed in me from a young age and invested so much of his time and patience to make me the athlete and person that I am today. Even though we won numerous state championships and national playoff games together, one of the best awards I took away from playing for him was that it takes hard work, wit, focus, determination, and perseverance to win not only softball games, but the ultimate challenges that life presents. I am forever indebted to you, and thank you for never giving up on me or letting me give up on myself. Great teams are filled with people who want the same thing. They want to win and are willing to work together to make that happen. I'm grateful not only for my talented teammates, but my loving parents and family for supporting me and believing in my abilities. If we want to be victorious, we need people on our team who support each other, whether they're playing beside us or sitting in the bleachers cheering us on, stepping up to make that big play, or encouraging us to throw harder and run faster. So thank you, Mom, Dad, Uncle Bob, and Ron, everyone who's here with me tonight. Every good team measures itself by something: wins, losses, championships. Now, I've won a lot of championships in my career, but the game of life doesn't have a World Series. I measure my success by the special friendships and relationships that I've made throughout the years through my athletic career. Individual commitment to a group effort. That is what makes a team work, a company work, a society work, a civilization work. So let's all continue to work together and make this world a better place. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce Anthony Palladini, the Athletic Director of Norristown Area High School, and he will be introducing our student athletes that are being honored tonight.
Thank you. At this time, first, I would like to extend congratulations to those inducted into the Hall of Champions and those who will be inducted shortly into the Hall of Fame. I want to also thank the committee for recognizing our student athletes and giving them the opportunity to see firsthand the fine tradition of the Norristown Eagles. At this time, I would like to start with the recognition of sophomores, student athletes. First, John Devine. John played freshman football and freshman baseball last year and is currently a member of our Eagles football team. As a sophomore, he has shown tremendous dedication and commitment to the sports he plays. Next is Charity Guy. Last season, Charity participated in winter track and also ran in the spring. One of many Eagle runners training through the off-season, she'll be ready to fly as winter track officially starts this Monday. Now members of our junior class, Eric Fuentes. Eric is a two-time All-Suburban 1 first-team wrestler, PIAA District 1 runner-up, PIAA Southeast Regional qualifier, and will serve as the 2015-16 team captain of the wrestling team. Stephanie Orman. Stephanie is on the Eagles softball team and has earned her varsity letters in both her 9th and 10th grade years. As a junior, she is seen as a team leader on and off the field. Now for members of our senior class. John Maxey. John runs cross country and track for Norristown and received his varsity letter in cross country in his sophomore, junior, and now senior years. He was also recently named to the Suburban 1 American Conference All-League team this past cross-country season as an honorable mention. Danielle Martorella. Danielle, an outstanding swimmer, has earned her varsity letters in swimming in her 9th, 10th, and 11th grade years and will be swimming again this winter. She also plays on the Eagles field hockey team, where she was a consistent performer on the field while also earning her varsity letter again in her senior year. Once again, our outstanding student athletes.
There we go, sorry. Next, the Norristown Honors Orchestra will be playing a selection for us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Could we have the house lights up, please? We always like to welcome back our previous inductees, those who come back and help support our program from year to year, when we like to take this time to acknowledge their presence. So I'd like each one of them, as I call your name, to stand, and please stand until all the names are read, and please hold your applause until all the names are read. From the Hall of Champions, class of 1962, Jim Williams. From the class of 1965, Hall of Champions, David Stagliano, Sr. From the class of 1947, from the class of 1954, Frank Batson, Hall Champions. And now for the Hall of Fame, we have from the class of 1973, Steve Harner. From the class of 1949, Clarence Rader. From the class of 1955, Guido Martinelli. From the class of 1949, Dr. Donald Waddington, who came down from State College today. From the class of 1955, Fran Doyle. From the class of 1960, Frank Bishop. And I have another card here, Phyllis Riley. I don't know her class. Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate your support. Would you please lower the screen for the Hall of Fame inductees?
Marvin Bachrod, class of 1953. Following graduation from Norristown, this inductee has had a long and distinguished career in broadcasting and public relations involving sports. He first worked for radio station WWNR in Beckley, West Virginia, and then for WPAM in Pottsville, PA. After 2 years of service in the United States Army, he followed basic training by taking over running the Armed Forces Radio Service Station, WFJX, at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Following discharge from the service, he worked at Philadelphia Jazz Station, WHAT-FM, before joining radio station WNAR in Norristown in 1959. He was sports director there for 10 years. In 1970, he became sports director at Tommy Roberts Station, WTMR, in Camden, New Jersey. Then he became a longtime sports reporter at Philadelphia radio stations, WCAU and KYW, where he reported live from the Spectrum, the Palestra, Convention Hall, and other sports venues from 1975 through 1990. For a 30-year interval, he reported on every Philadelphia 76ers and Big Five basketball game, as well as occasional Phillies and Eagles games and the Penn Relays. In 1975, he was named PR director at Garden State Park and served there until the track burned down in 1977. During each spring and fall, he announced harness races at Liberty Bell Park and Brandywine Raceway. In 1979, he assumed the position as track PR director at Brandywine. He served there for 10 years until the track closed. At Garden State Park and Brandywine, he innovated many changes which continue today. High school activities included volunteering as the scorekeeper for the baseball team. He then attended the Columbia School of Radio in Philadelphia in 1954. He joined Times, a harness magazine, as senior editor and columnist in 1990. In 1996, he was hired as Dover Downs harness director for publicity, where he remains today. He is a resident of Plymouth Meeting. We applaud the achievements of Marvin Bachrod and welcome him to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Fame.
This is some event. During the, I guess the 40s, late 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, at AD, Eisenhower High School, Norristown High School at that time, I was a major frequenter, I guess you might say. And today, I was just awestruck by what I see here at the 1973 built Norristown Area High School. This is still probably one of the nicest facilities I've ever seen. Great for the Norristown and vicinity, and congratulations to all of you who have attended Norristown as a student, many as an athlete. Back in those days, I recall the high school was in the north end of town, Harding Boulevard, Markley Street, and I used to walk to school, come up from the middle of Norristown, Jane and Airy, where my folks brought up three young fellas who all went to Norristown High School. And when I walked to school, I had it down pat. It took about 22 minutes from my house to get to the high school just in time to beat the second bell. Now the first bell, you were all right. Second bell, you were late. And I used to meet Charlie Bloxon and Willie, his brother, and we used to walk up Markley Street, rain, snow, whatever it was. We did that for all of my 3 years at Norristown. At that time, Norristown High School is one of the biggest schools in the suburbs. At that time, there was no Plymouth Whitemarsh, was no Methacton. All the other schools were very small. Bridgeport had a high school. Upper Marion had a high school. Phoenixville had a high school. Many of those teams were on the basketball and football schedule. When I was a student, I really enjoyed going to school. When I went to the high school, Norristown at that time was the last school built at the start of World War II. And it really held up very well. As you know, it still is in use. I was in homeroom 1, Mr. Dietrich's homeroom. One of my schoolmates was a fellow named Jack Rosenberg. He later became a 1970s icon, changed his name to Warner Earhart. He was the founder of the controversial EST program that was on during those days. At school, I remember my favorite teachers, and for some of the older people here, they may remember Dr. Mary Manaville, Mrs. Borzelica, my Spanish teacher, Lawson Earl. He was phys ed. He had coached Norristown 1948 to the state basketball championship. And of course, there was Pete Lewis. He was the athletic director who I remembered from grade school on. He would always come like once a month to each of the grade schools throughout the Norristown School District and put on a sports program, teach the young boys and sometimes young girls too, some of the athletics that were going on. I went to school at Jane Hartraneth Grade School, and we used to play ball there all the time, basketball outside in the court. It could be snowing. We'd go shovel off the snow and play ball. Same thing for football, same thing for basketball. Pete Lewis was a legend at that time. He was a big-time college basketball referee, and he was a famous track coach. His NHS track teams were unbeatable. In my 3 years at Norristown High School, they never lost a meet. They not only dominated District 1, but also the state PIAA finals, with members later going on to the Olympics. In my junior year, the state finals, Norristown scored more points representing District 1 than the total of the entire rest of the state of Pennsylvania. In that state championship event, Bob Curl, who never finished first in any meet during the regular season, well, he won the state title when Josh Colbreth, who went on to become an Olympian, tripped over a hurdle, and Curl became the state champion. Colbreth went on, of course, as did Bob Barksdale, who was a high jump champion, Charlie Bloxon, who I'm sure many know, a top shot putter, a discus thrower. He ran the third leg of the championship mile relay team, and of course was an outstanding football star. He could play basketball too. I remember when he was at Stewart Junior High School, no one could get a rebound but Charlie Bloxon. Al Cantello, he threw the javelin. He went to the Naval Academy. He went on to the Olympics. John Sweeney was the football coach, Art Herr basketball, Leon Martz baseball. During my 3 years, 1950 through 1953, the Eagles seldom lost a game. The football team, the quarterback was George Cagliola, and his passing mate was Paul Coombs. They went on to national colleges and played. They were great football pitching and receiving quarterback to wide receiving end. Don Shank was a top lineman. In basketball, Jackie May was all-league. He was a standout scorer. John Parker was a top rebounder, and after graduation, went on to become a Pennsylvania State All-Star, the state conference leading scorer and rebounder while at Millersville State. In years to come, Parker became an NBA basketball official as well as an educator, rising to superior duties. My Norristown class excelled in many other areas as well. Bill Myers was a 3-year swimming state champion. Jules Fisher went on to win a number of Academy and Emmy Awards. for his work on Broadway and in the movies. Irv Fligelman went on to college at Rider, was a sports writer for the Trenton Times, and more recently a highly successful insurance broker and philanthropist before his recent death. Also, Jerry Spinelli was a terrific author. Many of his books, especially being to the young people, many of them based in what he remembers from his days in Norristown. In the years since, thanks to my wonderful parents and family, my life has been spent in the entertainment world revolving around sports and music. I've been fortunate enough to be elected to several halls of fame, and of course the time has run too quickly. Yes, Norristown High School was a great time in my life, a wonderful experience, one that I could never forget. And it's with great humility and thanks to Jim Williams, an all-time NHS basketball legend, for the nomination, and I certainly accept with my honors tonight. And on behalf of all of those being honored tonight, the Hall of Champions, Hall of Fame, I wish you all, and all that are here, have a wonderful time for the rest of your time in life.
Walter K. Wieland, class of 1955. A physicist specializing in optics, this Norristown graduate worked on such great projects as the retroreflector package for the first moonwalk and the Hubble Space Telescope. He spent most of his career at Perkin-Elmer, now ASM, a manufacturer of precision scientific equipment, but was also employed by IBM and SVG. He served as quality manager for Orbital Astronomic Observatory in Princeton and for the NASA Space Telescope. Employed as an optical test engineer for ASML in Walton, Connecticut, he has served as secretary, president, and trustee for the Ridgefield Volunteer Fire Department, and as a lieutenant and captain of the fire police. He served in the United States Army in 1960 and is a member of the Presbyterian Church. He was a member of the band and chess club while here at Norristown. In 1959, he earned a BS in physics from Penn State University, and in 1999, earned an associate's degree in computer science at Norwalk Community College in Norwalk, Connecticut. In 2005, he and his wife created a scholarship to provide recognition and financial assistance to outstanding undergraduate students enrolled or planning to enroll in the Eberly College of Science at Penn State University. He has traveled all 50 states several times, along with Europe, China, Tibet, Central America, South America, Peru and the Amazon, and Egypt. He and his wife, Lynn Marie, reside in Ridgefield, Connecticut, and are the parents of son James. Tonight, we recognize the achievements of Walter Wieland, and we welcome him to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Fame.
Hello. Well, as would be my want, I didn't make a prepared speech for tonight, but I became a scientist, and you might wonder what first induced me to study science. Well, that goes back to my 3rd grade, and I lived in Trooper, and I went to this little school called Trooper School. And in the 3rd grade, as would be in any sport, the person who retaliates is the one who gets caught. Well, that's what happened to me. And the teacher made me stay after school. And she had to go out, and she said, when I come back, I want to see all those blackboards cleaned and nice and neat. And but before she went out, I was sitting by the library, and I was picking up, and I was going through some books, and one of them was something about yeast and what makes it rise and all this sort of thing. And then I was reading about acids and bases, and well, didn't mean too much to me as a 3rd grader, but I thought, you know, there might be something to this. So when I cleaned all the blackboards, I saved the chalk, and I had it in nice, neat little piles. Now, back in those days, if you had good penmanship, you got one of these, almost like a quill pen and a little inkwell in your desk so you could write in ink. And then it dawned on me, hey, this chalk and ink is an acid. What happens if I mix them up? So I poured some in. Everybody who had ink, well, but I didn't do it in mine. Then I thought, well, you know, I better put it in mine, and she'll know something's up if something happens. So I poured it into mine and stopped this thing down. And she came back, oh, this is beautiful. You did a good job. You can go home now. Well, she lived about 2 blocks from where I live, so we walked home together. And she said, did you learn anything today? And well, I learned a lot more than she thought I learned. We walked home, and I said, you know, I did learn one thing. I said, maybe you shouldn't retaliate when somebody hits you, because the culprit doesn't get punished, but the person who defends himself does. And the next day we came back to school. Well, what a mess. These inkwells exploded, and there was ink all over the place. The corks popped, and, you know, what a mess. Well, that's what put me on the road studying science. And when I got to Norristown High School, I have to thank a couple of teachers. One of them was John Schuler, who was one of the mathematics teachers. And we all remembered him because when you had him in your senior year, he would always say, you seniors, you just don't care. I call it resistance to education. Well, he was the one who called me up one day after class and said, Walter, I hope you're going to go on to college. And you're doing real well here in my class, and I think you do well. And I said, well, I have no choice. My parents would kill me if I didn't. And so off to Penn State I went, and I studied chemistry and physics, and got a degree in physics, and then wound up working with a bunch of great people. You know, all these projects you saw up there, yes, I did work on all of them. In the bunny suits I was in, I'd have to point out and say, oh, that one was me. But the science on any of these great projects is like any sport, especially something like football, because one person might be a star, but if you're a star quarterback and the line doesn't block for you, and you're sitting on your bippy, you're not going to complete a pass. Well, it was the same way with all these projects that I worked on. It was always a team effort, and everybody contributed. I contributed a little bit, everybody else contributed, so the honor really goes to all the people who worked on it. And I have to, again, say thank you to the teachers at Norristown High who encouraged me along the way. Thank you.
James B. Clayton, class of 1960. As a registered professional engineer, this Norristown graduate worked for 50 years as a naval officer, industry executive, and management consultant. He served as a commissioned officer in the Navy Civil Engineer Corps from 1964 to 1984, managing Navy engineering organizations in South Carolina, Illinois, and Mississippi. He led Seabees in South Vietnam, Spain, and Puerto Rico, and oversaw the Navy's shore base maintenance budget at the Pentagon. He constructed the message link between the White House and submerged submarines, managed construction of the first global radio navigation system, and modernized management training for officer candidates. In 1984, he left the Navy and joined Kaiser Engineers as principal engineer, where he helped design and construct a new Navy submarine base in Georgia. Later, he was vice president of 3 other engineering firms and then founded Unity, Inc., where he was president from 1996 to 2007. There, he helped create I2M, a web portal cited in industry literature as a milestone in geographic information system technology. At Norristown, he was a member of the National Honor Society, the football and track teams, a homeroom officer, SPICE representative, junior and senior assembly cast member, and a member of the N Club, Key Club, and the Amateur Radio Club. He earned a BS in engineering at the United States Naval Academy, Annapolis, Maryland, in 1964, where he was 20th Company Commander on the Superintendent's List, antiphonal choir, and electric bass man for the Academy's rock band, the Spiffies. He earned an MS in electrical engineering at the University of Michigan in 1967. While at Michigan, he designed a groundbreaking computer input-output device that preceded invention of the PC and was elected to Sigma Kappa Nu, the National Electrical Engineering Honor Society. As executive director of the Institute for Responsible Infrastructure Stewardship and IRIS Foundation, he served on a Federal Accounting Standards Advisory Board committee. His work in condition assessment was cited by the National Research Council, and he is a contributing author to 2 management books and a peer reviewer for 2 journals of the American Society of Civil Engineers. He conducted an independent review of the Sandia National Laboratory's facilities programs, created the U.S. Department of Energy Site Development course, and assisted the department to meet the green standards of success for the President's Federal Real Property Asset Management Initiative. He was the principal industry consultant for Navy and NASA deployment of mission dependency indexing. He briefed the Federal Facilities Council and national conventions of the International Facilities Management Association, the American Institute of Architects, the Association of Higher Education Facility Officers, and the annual Inter-University Symposium on Infrastructure. He advised the architect of the Capitol, the National Nuclear Safety Agency, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and the Tri-Service Medical Command, as well as the Los Angeles Unified School District. And he led a statewide condition assessment of all Virginia public higher education facilities. His wife of 34 years, Ollie, passed away in 1998. He remarried in 2001, and he and his wife, Muriel, live in Fairfax Station, Virginia. Their extended family of 4 children and 10 grandchildren spread from Belfast, Maine to Bristow, Virginia. Let's congratulate James Clayton on his lifetime of achievements and welcome him to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Fame.
I'm honored to be here tonight and grateful to be inducted into the Hall. This is a wonderful recognition, and I accept it with pride and humility. My sincere thanks to the Association Board, its officers, and the selection committee, as well as the many volunteers like Cindy Saratori, Nancy Collier, and Dave Wetzel, who work behind the scenes year after year, promoting awareness and pride at NAHS. I attribute whatever I've accomplished in life to my Norristown teachers. Thank you, John Schuler, Ken Miller, Dorothy Roth, and Chris Pappas. And thank you, Robert Long, Lester Hoffmaster, Richard Kistler, and Roy Kent. Many of you are gone now, and sometimes I forget exactly what you taught me, but I'll always remember your integrity, kindness, decency, and honor. I loved all of you. I'm especially grateful to a few marvelous people whose high school friendships and encouragements helped me through the teenage years. Thank you, Bill and Ruth Ledger, and Bill's parents, Caroline and Fred. Thank you, Barry Howe and Mary Ballard Howe, Jackie Davis Marsh, Pat Corley Stanford, and Fred Lauman. Thank you, Joan Lair Brumbine, Tom Kokendorfer, Sam Miller, Ellen Quietmeyer Morrow, Frank Bishop, Keith Reichenbach, and Frank Kayola. And thank you, Ollie Iverson Clayton, loving mother of our 3 children, and family bellwether for 34 years before you were taken from us in 1998. And to my wife, Muriel, who continues to love me and support me after 14 years, and with whom I'll joyfully spend the rest of my days. Thank you, sweetie. I love you. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatness of our nation is not in the fame of her celebrities and politicians, but rather in the collective contributions of people like you and me. I'm sincerely grateful to my teachers, my friends, and my family. What we've accomplished together has made a difference. Lastly, I want to dedicate this honor to my mother, Gwendolyn West Arnold Clayton, NHS class of 1939. When my father died, leaving her with 4 small children and no income, she kept her family together and taught us right from wrong. It's because of her that I'm up here today accepting this recognition. Thank you, Mom. I love you. Thank you again. God bless our students, our teachers, and our veterans. And God bless America.
The Reverend Augustus C. Paleo, Ph.D., class of 1971. This Norristown graduate has had a long and successful career teaching languages at the college level and serving as a pastor for the Archdiocese of Philadelphia here in Norristown. He began teaching as a professor of English and Spanish at Marymount College of Virginia from 1976 to 1980, and continued in 1980 to 82 as professor of English and Spanish at the University of Panama, Panama City, Panama. He was head of the Spanish department at Kent High School in New Jersey from 1982 to 1986. From 1986 to 1992, he was professor of Spanish at the University of Pennsylvania, as well as professor of Spanish at Drexel University. And from 1992 to 1999, he was professor of Spanish, Caribbean literature, and Latino literature at Columbia University, New York City. He was ordained a Roman Catholic priest in 2005, and from 2005 until 2011, served as assistant pastor at St. Martin of Tours and Our Lady of Mount Carmel churches in Philadelphia. From 2011 to the present, he has served as pastor of St. Patrick's Parish in Norristown. Activities in high school included membership in the National Honor Society, the Spanish Club, the World Affairs Club, and the yearbook staff, and he received multiple awards in languages. He earned a BS and a BA in Spanish and linguistics from Georgetown University, Washington, D.C. in 1975, and an MS in linguistics from Georgetown in 1976. He received an MA in Spanish from Middlebury College, Middlebury, Vermont in 1986, and a PhD in Spanish from the University of Pennsylvania in 1992. His M. Divinity and MA in Theology were received at St. Charles Borromeo Seminary in Philadelphia in 2005. At St. Patrick's Church, he provides leadership for provision of English classes for foreigners, Spanish classes for Americans, the SAT program for students of the parish, immigration enrichment programs, and programs to feed the homeless as a member of the board of directors for the Patrician Society, working with the Missionaries of Charity. He provides faith education classes for parishioners and provides medical care for the poor. He also runs food drives, clothing drives, and obtains gifts and books for the poor during the holiday season. He resides in the St. Patrick's Rectory in Norristown. Please help us recognize the accomplishments of the Reverend Augustus C. Paleo as we welcome him to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Fame.
The wisest people that I have ever met my entire lifetime never went to college. They taught me to read, taught me to learn, they taught me to search for the truth. That is with the capital T, truth. That is God in our lives. These two people were my father, Louis, a barber here in Norristown, my mom, Anna, a cook in the Norristown area school districts. The search led me to walk and to become a teacher. That is, a Spanish teacher and an English teacher. And that all started here at Norristown High. 4 years of Latin, 3 years of Spanish. From there, I became a professor and now a priest. Well, my sister, Kathy, her search led her to become a psychiatric nurse. My sister and I were educated, standing on the shoulders of our mother and father. They taught us, they prayed with us, they encouraged us, they supported us, they loved us. We too are called to do the same for our own children, but also for all children, our extended family, our children that should search for the truth and allow that quest to take them in many different directions, different careers, different vocations, to help others. So we need to offer our shoulders to support them as they reach their goal. I end with two words that women and men have uttered since the dawn of humanity. Thank you. Merci. Gracias. As I thank God, my dearest parishioners, those here today, this evening, and the wonderful kids that I saw this morning in the Spanish classes. My parishioners who've changed the face, the color, the culture, and the language of Norristown High. I thank all the professors I've had, all the teachers I've had, all the students who I learned so much from as I've had, and especially the committee and all of the leaders here at Norristown High. The word gratitude has many equivalents in every language and a wide range of meanings. The meanings span the spiritual and the physical, from divine grace given to men and women to save them from error and death, to the bodily grace of a dancer. Grace means pardon, forgiveness, favor, inspiration. In short, it is an act that reveals spiritual goodness to help others. The person who receives it is grateful for it and expresses this gratitude. With my thank you, I feel an indefinable mixture of fear, unworthiness, honor, and surprise at finding myself here before you in this place where truth is sought and our children are educated to help others. It comes from that wonderful motto, a godly motto, a motto here at Norristown High: learn and live to serve. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce Mr. Jeff Smith, Principal of Norristown High School, who will be presenting the awards for academic students at Norristown. Hope you're in the same order I am. Yeah. Should be right after that. Yeah, well. Yeah. Thanks for this.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to introduce this year's Norristown Area High School Outstanding Student Scholars. I would like to give a big thank you to the Hall of Champions for allowing us to recognize these young scholars here tonight. These individuals have achieved a very high level of academic excellence, which is evidence of dedication, commitment, and hard work. Not only have they excelled academically, they have also demonstrated superior character and a commitment to the overall school community. I would like to begin with our 10th grade student scholars, the class of 2018. Mr. Andres Castillo. Andres has been recognized for academic honors for each of his 5 consecutive marking periods at Norristown. He is currently studying networking technology at Central Montgomery Technical High School. As a freshman, he was able to qualify for college credits through our Project Lead the Way engineering program. This young man plans on attending college upon graduation and majoring in network engineering. Congratulations to Andres Castillo. Miss Alexia Hall. During her time at Norristown, Alexia has been consistently recognized for distinguished academic honors. She is a member of the French Club, volleyball team, field hockey team, and the VEX robotics team. Alexia has involved herself with many service-related activities outside of school that she balances with her rigorous academic program. Following graduation, she plans on attending college with a major in the field of engineering. Congratulations to Alexia Hall. Our final sophomore is Mr. Michael T. Michael hopes to act as a role model for his fellow students by making good choices and always trying his best. He has been recognized for academic honors for each of his first 5 consecutive marking periods at Norristown. Michael was the recipient of the Underclass English Award last school year. As a freshman, he too was able to qualify for college credits through our Project Lead the Way engineering program. Following graduation from Norristown, Michael plans on attending college and majoring in biology. Congratulations to Michael. Our 11th grade student scholars, the class of 2017, Miss Corinne Leary. Proud to be hardworking and dedicated student, Corinne has earned distinguished honors throughout her time at Norristown. She is a member of the volleyball team, lacrosse team, student council, Club 2017, and the National Honor Society. This young lady also finds time to participate in and coordinate school events such as homecoming and Mr. Norristown. Following graduation, she plans on attending college and is undecided with a major at this time. Congratulations to Corinne Leary. Our next 11th grader is Miss Hannah Markley. Obviously a dedicated student, Hannah has earned high academic honors throughout her time at Norristown. Hannah also finds time to give back to the community by volunteering and participating in youth mission trips, as well as volunteering with a number of community-based service organizations. With an obvious commitment to serve and help others, Hannah enjoys reaching out to help those less fortunate. Following graduation, she plans on attending college with a possible major in psychology. Congratulations to Hannah Markley. Our final 11th grade student scholar is Mr. Matthew Picari. Matt has been recognized for distinguished academic honors for all of the consecutive marking periods while at Norristown. Matt is an active member of DECA and the National Honor Society, as well as a member of our golf and baseball teams. He has been a role model to his peers and able to consistently excel in all areas while engaging in his academic program at Norristown Area High School. Matt plans on majoring in finance following graduation. Congratulations to Matthew Picari. And finally, to our seniors, the class of 2016, Mr. Terrell Dale. During his years at Norristown, Terrell has learned to seek that which he wants rather than wait for it. This young man has been recognized for distinguished honors throughout and numerous academic awards while at Norristown, including the Yale Book Award, the Rensselaer Medal, and the Bosch and Lomb Science Award. Terrell is also involved with the Robotics Club and a member of the National Honor Society. In addition, he is a member of the varsity baseball team. Following graduation, Terrell is planning on attending Swarthmore College, where he will continue his baseball career while majoring in engineering and chemistry. Congratulations to Terrell Dale. Our next senior inductee is Miss Jessica Ellick. With many highlights in her academic career, including recognition on the Grand Concours National French Testing Competition and distinguished honors throughout her time at Norristown, Jessica is most proud of her hard work and ambition and already understands the importance of creating a balance between school, work, activities, friends, and family. This young lady is a member of the National Honor Society, DECA, Student Council, a member of the volleyball and softball teams, as well as the senior school board representative. Jessica is looking forward to continuing her education upon graduation and majoring in animal behavior. Congratulations to Jessica Ellick. And our final senior is Mr. Chris Rivera. There have been many bright spots for Chris throughout his time at Norristown. He too has been a role model for his peers and able to consistently excel in all areas while at Norristown Area High School. This young man involves himself with the tennis team and is a member of the National Honor Society. He has taken time to volunteer at East Norton Middle School, participated in various benefits to fundraise for cancer, and has published work in our literary publication, The Scribbler. Following graduation, this young man plans on attending college and majoring in film and video. Congratulations to Mr. Chris Rivera. And let's have one final round of applause for our 2015 Outstanding Student Scholars.
You can leave. Okay, just, excuse me? Yeah, no, come on. Okay. Just a couple things, remarks, and then we'll be singing the alma mater. First, following the singing of the alma mater, we'd like everyone to go to the cafeteria for some refreshments. The new inductees, we'd like you to come up on stage. We have to take a few more pictures. And I'd also like to make a couple thank yous to the PowerPoint presentation by Mr. Smallbach from Norristown High School. It was fabulous. And of course, a special thank you to Jeff Brandon, the voice of Norristown, who does the announcing. And yes, Mr. Perry, you got drafted. Okay. I'd like to bring up Kimberly Wasanicki. I'm pronouncing this wrong, Joe. She will lead us in the alma mater along with the orchestra. Sorry about that. It's your father's fault.
Please sing along with me. You guys can stand. Though the earth be filled with flowers, most beautiful and sweet, and the roses and the lilies hide the pathway at our feet. Oh, the blue and white shy violets will be our delight, for they wear the loyal colors of our emblem, blue and white. In all kind school athletics, no honor do we lack, for to Norristown we are giving victories won on field and track, with a spirit never conquered. For NHS we fight, so we're never galloping black and blue, for blue and white.
Okay, it's time to go to the reception, the cafeteria, and the inductees, please come on up on stage. Could we raise the screen? Thank you.